Hey everyone, this is Renata with the Life Manifestation School community. Welcome to Teaching Thursday. Each Thursday I want to take one concept for manifestation and explore the theory behind it. These videos aren't about quick techniques or shortcuts. They're about understanding the idea so you can decide for yourself what makes sense and what you'd like to experiment with. Today we're talking about the trend energy cards and the theory behind trend energy. This card represents a trend, but today isn't really about the specific card. It's the theory behind why someone might choose to work with a trend instead of focusing only on a single outcome. Let's start with a simple question. When people think about manifestation, what are they usually trying to manifest? A new relationship, more money, a better job, a new home, good health. Those are all outcomes, they're destinations. Trend energy begins from a different place. Instead of asking, how do I make this one specific thing happen? It asks what direction would naturally make this outcome more likely. I think that's a fascinating shift because it changes how we approach our goals. Imagine you're standing beside a river. Picture a leaf floating downstream. If you wanted that leaf to end up somewhere different, you could keep trying to push the leaf itself, or you could change the direction of the current. That's the idea behind trend energy. The current represents the overall direction of your thoughts, habits, decisions, and circumstances. The leaf represents individual events. When the current changes, the leaves naturally begin arriving somewhere different. Now, this is an analogy, not a scientific explanation. It's a simple way to think about the concept. One of the reasons I appreciate this idea is because life is rarely changed by one single moment. Most meaningful changes happen gradually. Think about confidence. Nobody wakes up one morning and suddenly becomes confident. Confidence is usually built through experience. You solve a problem, you learn a new skill, you keep promises to yourself. You handle situations that once intimidated you. Over time, those experiences create a new trend. Eventually, people begin saying, you're so confident, but confidence wasn't the event. Confidence was the direction your life gradually moved. So we have a confidence. These are all the trend energy cards. We have a lot of them. This is the AOD 48 pack, which you can get on Stand.Store/Life Manifestations for free. And we have 9 other packs that you can get for $50. So here's the trend energy card for self-confidence. The card isn't about pretending you're already confident. It's about intentionally placing your attention on developing that quality. Whether you view these cards as symbolic reminders, intention-setting tools, or something more within my dad's broader theoretical framework, the important point for today's discussion is the idea of working with a direction instead of only a destination. We're going to set self-confidence there. Let's look at another example. Suppose someone wants a promotion. Most manifestation advice says visualize the promotion, affirm the promotion. Imagine the promotion. Trend energy asks a different question. What qualities would naturally make promotions more likely? Excellent teamwork, problem solving, secure success, optimism. Those are trends. As those qualities develop, many different opportunities can emerge. So, see, if we were to do that, we'd go optimism, solve problems, positive outcome. Also, it wouldn't be find a good job because you already have a good job if you're looking for promotion. You would pull those cards out, and you would use those on yourself. Maybe energy, secure success. As those qualities develop, many different opportunities can emerge. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe another company notices your work. Maybe you discover a career that fits you even better. The destination may change, the positive direction remains. Take this card. If I spent the next month genuinely becoming a better teammate, listening more carefully, communicating more clearly, helping other people succeed, those are real actions. Whether or not I receive a promotion immediately, I've changed something about myself. That new trend can influence future opportunities in a way that I couldn't have predicted. That's where I think trend energy differs from simply wishing for something. It's active, it's participatory, it's asking what qualities am I intentionally developing. rather than what result am I demanding. Something else I like about this framework is that it leaves room for surprise. Sometimes we become attached to one specific outcome. We decide there's only one way our goal can happen. Life doesn't always work that way. Maybe you don't get the exact opportunity you imagined. Instead, something better appears that you've never considered. When you're working with trends, you're creating conditions rather than trying to control every detail. It reminds me of gardening. You can't force a plant to grow. You prepare the soil, you water it, you give it sunlight, you remove weeds. You create the environment where growth becomes more likely. Trend energy is similar. You're cultivating conditions, you're preparing the environment. The outcome still requires time. Looking for solved problems. So, as you can see, we have a lot to choose from. Here's another example. Suppose you're facing a challenge in your business. You could focus entirely on one solution, or you could intentionally develop a trend of solving problems. Once you begin thinking that way, something interesting happens. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what can I learn from this? What options haven't I considered? Who could help? The situation may not change overnight, but you've changed the direction of your thinking. Sometimes that's the beginning of everything else. People often ask, how do I know if my manifestation's working? I think that's an important question. Instead of only looking for the final result, ask yourself different questions. Am I thinking differently? Am I responding differently? Am I noticing opportunities that I used to overlook? Have I become more patient, more creative, more disciplined? These changes may not seem dramatic in the moment, but over weeks and months, they can become significant. Within Karl Hans Welz's work, trend energy cards were developed as symbolic representations of different qualities or directions. They fit into a larger theoretical framework that also includes structural links, chi cards, orgone generators, and focused intention. Different people will interpret the framework differently. Some see it as metaphysical, some as psychological, some as a combination of both. My goal isn't to tell you what conclusion you should reach. It's to encourage thoughtful exploration. Try the ideas, observe your experience, keep a journal. See what changes over time. One thing I encourage people to avoid is becoming attached to only one possible outcome. Let's say your goal is financial success. Instead of asking, can I manifest exactly $10,000? You might ask, what trends would naturally support greater prosperity? Maybe it's learning, maybe it's organization, maybe it's persistence, maybe it's solving problems more effectively. Those trends can create opportunities that money alone never could. So here's a simple exercise to try this week. Choose one trend energy card, just one. Don't try to work with 10 different ideas at once. Each morning, spend a few minutes thinking about that quality. Ask yourself, how would someone expressing this trend approach today? What opportunities might they notice? What actions will they take? Then in the evening, write down what happened. Don't judge it. Don't force conclusions. Just observe. At the end of the week, read back through your journal and ask yourself one final question. Did I notice a shift in direction? Because that's really what trend energy is about. It's less about forcing a single event, more about gradually influencing the direction you're moving. And often when the direction changes, the destinations begin to change as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you could intentionally develop one trend over the next month, what would it be and why? Next Thursday, we'll continue the series by exploring another foundational concept behind manifestation and intentional practice. Until then, take care, stay curious, and keep experimenting. I'm planning to do various videos, and it's not going to be every day of the week, but I will be back on tomorrow to do Frequency Friday, and on Fridays I'm going to share different frequencies that are useful. And just as a preview, one of my favorites is 7.83, which right now is sitting at 7.82 because that's the thing, but 7.83 hertz is one of my favorite frequencies. It's the Schumann resonance, and I'll probably talk about that tomorrow for the first of Frequency Friday. So thank you. If you'd like to join my school community, it's a free community. It's Life Manifestations. The link will be in the description. If you'd like to get the trend energy cards to experiment with, you can get this entire set for free at standoutstory/Life Manifestations. And if you're in the school community, I have a resources link, and I have a free gift link, and they're there. And there's a couple of pages that you can print out, and there's a PDF that gives uses of various trend energies, like possible uses, because each one has a lot of different ways that you can use it. It's not just set up so that it's one thing. it's set up so that there's, you know, you can use them in different ways. So you can kind of see in this set, there are a lot of different things to work with. Good fortune, excellent teamwork, positive outcome. There's some for, you know, reverse evil for if you're under spiritual attack. There's spiritual strength, which I use instead of reversing things. I just build myself up. That's what I feel like is important, is just you build yourself up versus leaving, you know, chinks in your armor, basically. But I like to use balance, harmony. I like to use stress reduction. And then I'll use spiritual strength to build my armor up. And I don't really use too much. I don't use anything for attacking another person. I don't do anything along those lines. And I do things for defense, but just a little. I don't really feel much need for it. So, but if you need it, there is a pack based around that. There's one that's for avoiding unwanted people. That's a good one to use. Calm down emotions. That's a good one to use if you have like situations where people are arguing. You can use it on a situation. But this is the trend energy cards, and yeah. So I'll see you tomorrow to talk about frequencies. Thank you.